Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And really sorry for starting the webinar a few minutes late. I think there was a bit of a confusion with the Zoom link, but welcome everyone in this interesting and learning webinar. Our 8th webinar in the series in Minitab Need to Know. We're going to cover an interesting topic today with Vineet, correlation in Minitab. My name is Samir Sortur, founder CEO at Square Circle Global. We are a business analytics and data science consulting firm, been established for the last 6 years. I myself am a Six Sigma Yellow Belt certified and a corporate innovation specialist and trainer, and advise government and enterprises across the MENA region. Along with me, I have my colleague, Vineet Maurya, principal data scientist at Square Circle Global, with vast experience in statistical data analysis, machine learning, and data science. Welcome, Vineet.
Thank you, Samir. Yep. Great.
So for all of you who know Minitab, Minitab has grown from a product company, a single product company, where Minitab statistical software was a individual product and used to drive process improvement and business excellence in Six Sigma. Today, especially in 2020, Minitab is a solution analytics company, and we are proud partners for them across Middle East, Africa. Minitab has 5 products in their portfolio, completing the whole solution of business analytics, with the core product of Minitab, analyzing statistical data. We have a new member joining the Minitab family, which is Minitab Workspace for process and product excellence. Companion is a complete web-based tool, while as Workspace is a desktop tool. Statistical and machine learning predictive analytics software called Salford Predictive Modeler. Minitab acquired this company 3 years ago. And then for learning statistical analysis as well as Minitab, step by step, we have Quality Trainer, an e-learning annual subscription solution. Along the way, for all our clients, we help with training, statistical consulting, and technical support, which is offered complimentary with the term of your license. We're very fortunate to be working with various clients across the Middle East region, some of the Fortune 500 companies globally, as well as in the GCC. So here I'm launching a short poll to know, some of you already have replied some questions when you registered. Here is a quick poll to know your usage of Minitab. If you can see, all of you can see the poll, kindly can I request you to answer your responses. We're going to be this poll for about a minute.
Nothing.
I'll leave another 15 seconds to know your opinion about using Minitab. So I think looks like we have a good tie between using Minitab daily for my data analysis, as well as casually using Minitab once or twice a week during a month. And we also have 2 people who have never used Minitab. So this is a good learning. You can also trial download the software from minitab.com or datatools.me. Can we go to the next slide, Vineet? So, welcome, Vineet. On the learning objectives of our previous webinars, what we conducted, Vineet is going to take you through quickly about the webinars 1 to 7, as well as today's webinar. A total, we have about 40 odd minutes with Q&A. So I'll leave the floor to Vineet to conduct the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Samir. I hope everybody can hear me clearly. So just I welcome all of you to this webinar on correlation in Minitab. So just before I begin, this is how the webinar will work. So this webinar will be recorded and shared with you. Please check our follow-up emails to access that link. Also, I won't be pausing for questions during the session. So I have muted your mic. So please mute yourself in case it is just unmuted. And you can ask any of your questions during the session in the chat panel, and we will come back to you individually after the webinar. All right. So let me just move on. So these are the learning objectives which we have covered till now in our previous webinar sessions. So this webinar it is a part of Need to Know series, which Square Circle Global is doing every month to make you like a pro in using Minitab. So till now, what we have covered? We have covered how do we import data in Minitab from Excel, from CSV, how do we format data, how do we stack data and do calculations. We did a first pass analysis. What is first pass analysis? Why do we do it? And then why do we do it before doing any kind of analysis? And we looked at some of the graphical summaries. We understood in our, I think, fourth or fifth webinar, how do we make macros in, if you have a redundant work every day, you need to do the same analysis. You can just make a macro on a click of a button. Everything will be done at just a click through method. And then we learn about normal distribution and hypothesis test, how to do and how to conduct these tests in Minitab. So if you want to watch any of these, you can go to datatools.me and or facebook.com datatools.me to learn about these topics. So today our learning objective is to learn about correlation in Minitab. So today we are going to learn what is correlation, like scatter plots, then what is correlation coefficient, and how do you calculate different types of correlation coefficients, which are like Pearson and Spearman's in Minitab. So I'll give you a demo of that also. So moving on to next slide. Okay. So if I ask you a simple question, see, if there is a relationship between the height of a person and a weight of a person, so most probably your answer would be yes, that taller the person, the higher the weight, right? Now, this is a known thing. You know it very well. But if I ask you questions like, if there is a relationship between time spent on a customer and the level of satisfaction, does that lead to higher satisfaction? Or like some other questions like, if in a glue manufacturing company, does adding a chemical more lead to more strength? Or one more example which we can take is there a relationship between resale value of a car and mileage which it gives? So you might answer for these questions, probably you know, or you say I might know, or I don't know. So now whenever you are looking for solving a problem, something like these sort of relationship between variables is very important. And we are going to learn this concept of correlation in this webinar. So I'll start this with the scatter plots. So now what is a scatter plot? A scatter plot is a type of data display that shows the relationship between two numerical variables. Now numerical variables are these continuous variables, something like height. We measure height like 5 feet, 1 inch, 5 feet, 2 inch. These are continuous values. They are not discrete values. So scatter plot displays the relationship between two numerical values. And in a graph, something like which you can see in your screen right now. So each member of the data sets gets plotted as the XY, like X comma Y coordinates. And these coordinates relates to its values for the two variables. So for example, here in this scatter plot, which you can see in the screen right now, this scatter plot shows the shoe sizes and the quiz scores for students in a class. So it shows that higher the shoe size, the higher the quiz scores was. So each data point is a student in the x coordinate, and they are given shoe size, you can see as their quiz score. Okay, so scatter plots are very important to understand about before to learn correlation. Now, what is correlation? So in scatter plots we often see patterns or relationships in these x and y coordinates. So it might be that the y variable tends to increase as the x increases, or we say that it might be a vice versa relationship. So whenever there is a pattern, we wanted to in a scatter plot, whenever there is a relationship or a trend which we see, we might want to quantify the relationship. So how do we know? Okay, here in this graph, so you can see there is a number of cookies and the production rate. So as the production rate is increasing from 60 to 80, the number of cookies are also increasing. But okay, the scatter plot is good, but how do we quantify, how do we know exactly how much these two variables are related to each other? For that we have a correlation coefficient. So this is just one of the statistical formulas. We might dig deeper if we go in a training like for that, but this is just a x value for each individual x. They have subtracted the mean, and then through similarly for the y values, and then this is the formula they have used for calculating the a correlation coefficient. Now correlation coefficient is used in statistics to measure how strong relationship between two variables is. So it goes, actually most of the time it goes from -1 to +1. So if it's +1, it would be a line like this, from 0 to a straight line like this. If it's a inverse relationship, or like it's a perfect negative correlation, the line will be something on this side. So we will see on the next slide. So correlation coefficients are used to measure the how strong the relationship is. So the more it is towards the ends, like +1 or -1, the more correlated these variables are. But if it's like in a value like 0, it's kind of less or not correlated a lot. So let me go to the next slide. Yeah. So here you can see some of the variables. Uh, so like in this one, where we can say strong positive correlation. So we see that the y variable tends to increase as the x variable increases. So we say that there is a positive correlation between the variables. Here in this case, when y variable is increasing, the y variable tends to actually decrease when the x is increasing. So we say that it's a negative correlation. And then through the formula, we have calculated these two numbers. So I'll show you how to calculate these in Minitab later. So, and there might be a scene something like this. There is dots all over the place in the xy coordinates. So there is actually no correlation in this. And on the previous graph, so we have calculated that, and it's like the correlation coefficient was 0.93, which is very high. It's very close to 1. So we'll say, yes, these two things are very closely related. So this is how you will find out through scatter plot. Okay, a scatter plot gives you a visual representation, okay, whether what is a trend in the data, or how much how the two variables are going together. But the correlation coefficient will quantify that relationship. Okay, and the more it is towards 1 or -1, the more correlated, positive or negative, they are. All right. So just to make you understand, we will launch poll 2 here. Here there is a graph which shows the relationship between age of drivers and the number of car accidents per 100 drivers in the year 2009. So can you tell me, is it a positive correlation, or is it a negative correlation, or there is no correlation? What do you think about this one? So I think we have already okay, we have received 9 responses. So most of you, they have given it like 6. Okay, so I'll just wait for 10 more seconds. Wait. Khalid is saying negative. Okay, so see in this graph, from the visual representation, we haven't calculated any coefficient here. From the visual representation, I see it's a negative correlation. So here, if you can see, let me just stop this share. 6 of you have said negative correlation, 2 have said no correlation, and 1 has said positive correlation. So negative correlation is most obvious. Yes, if x is increasing, y is decreasing. So it is negatively correlated as from the visual representation. Someone who has given a positive correlation, no, it's not the right answer. And no correlation, if you are saying, I'll still want you to rethink and see. I think there is some pattern in the data. It's going down as the x increases. So typically it looks like a negative linear correlation. Okay, let us move on. So now there are two types of correlation coefficient which are most popular actually, which we calculate in Minitab. The first one is the Pearson correlation coefficient, and the second one is the Spearman's rank order correlation. Now, what is Pearson correlation coefficient? Now, whenever we have two continuous variables, like in the previous example, when we looked at height and weight relationship or production rate versus number of cookies, so these are all continuous variables. For these, we use Pearson's correlation. It assumes this correlation is it assumes that your data is normally distributed. And if you want to check how to check whether your data is normally distributed or not, I would request you to watch our previous webinar on normal distribution. So you can go for an Anderson-Darling test to check whether your data is normally distributed or not. So for that, here I'll go to my Minitab screen and show you how to calculate Pearson's correlation coefficient. Let me just share my Minitab screen. I believe everybody can see it. Okay, Samir, you can see Minitab screen, right? So now here we have a data related to a plastic part. So it is manufactured at a particular temperature and the strength is measured. Okay, the intention here is to find out, is there any relationship between the temperature and strength of the plastic part? So and then we need to we just trying to find out whether there is a relationship between the two things or not. Okay, so first of all, I'll try to make a scatter plot of these two things, like temperature and strength. So I'll just go for the simple or like with a regression line, whether there is something or not. Okay, so my y variable I'll taking as temperature and I can take this as strength. So here you can see from the just scatter plot, we see that there is some kind of negative correlation, but there is something more around which is going on here. We can dive deeper actually into this problem because we have a manufacturer here, which is A, and I believe down there is a manufacturer B also. So we can have a different scatter plots for that also. I think yes. With the regression. Temperature, strength, and then we will give a okay. So here you can see there are manufacturer A and manufacturer B, and for A actually the blue dots you can see it shows some kind of no linear relationship, but from the A from the B it is very clear that there is some kind of negative correlation. So you can have such kind of scatter plots out here. Now we will calculate, is there any correlation between temperature and strength? So let me just go to stat, basic statistics, and then click on correlation. So we have two variables here. Okay, okay. So now here I have selected two variables, temperature and strength. And in the options, you can select, see here you can select whether you want to do a Pearson correlation or a Spearman correlation. And then you can also give your confidence interval. Okay, I'll keep it 95. Then there is a graph in which we have like what exactly do we want to display? We want to display only correlation and p-values, correlation and intervals. So I'm just selecting intervals for the time being, and I click OK. And then on the result part, I'll leave it to methods and this. Okay, I'll click OK. So here you can see we have a correlation for the full data of temperature and strength, and it is saying that we have a correlation of negative 0.76. So it's not very close to 1. So yes, there is a negative correlation, but not very strong, I'll say. And the confidence interval here is minus 0.882 to minus 0.550. So here actually this interval, it doesn't contain 0 in this. So we say that yes, the result is significant. Yes, there is a negative correlation and it is minus of 0.76. Okay, so and then this is the interval in which it is calculated. Now the one good thing about Minitab is if you want to take this graph and copy paste it, this is the new feature. You can just send it to Microsoft Word. You can send it to PowerPoint or Companion or Minitab Workspace. As such, you can just copy this graph. I did this and then pasted it on my slides. Okay, and I think in my previous webinar we also showed you about how to use brushing points. If I just click it and select some of the variables here, see, it will tell you exactly what these values are. So this brushing tool is also very important in Minitab. Okay, so let me just move back for the I hope this is clear. If any questions, please type in. Let me go back to our slide. Now the next one is the Spearman's rank order correlation. Okay, so now when do we use Spearman rank order correlation is when your variable for which you want to find correlation is in a rank or in a ordinal scale. So what it is, it's actually ranking of the numbers. So for example, if you have a shoe size given with IQ, which we'll see later on in our example, if you have a shoe size given or you have a rank or a positions of like horses running, in that case you will use a Spearman's rank order correlation. Your data needs to be in ranks. So what happens is we take x and y, we calculate rank of each of the individual values, we give them positions 1 2 3 4 5 6, whatever how many numbers are there, and we do similarly for the y. Then we calculate a difference between those two ranks, which is di actually here in this formula. And then this n is the number of observations actually from the sample. And then this row is actually the symbol for Spearman's rank correlation, and this formula is used to calculate the uh, the value of the relationship or how much related these relationships are. Now Spearman's rank order correlation is only for monotonic relationship. Now monotonic is, it should be either increasing, it should be either decreasing. It cannot be going from up and down or like a zigzag kind of a relationship. So Spearman's rank order correlation is valid only for monotonic correlations. So I'll go to Minitab to show you how do we calculate Spearman's rank correlation. So here we have in this problem we are trying to understand that if there is any association between the IQ of each adolescent in a sample and the number of hours they listen to the rock music per month. So now one of the variables ranked here, which is the IQ. So IQ are actually are numbers like 1 2 3 4. It doesn't come as like in points, or it doesn't have a, it's not a continuous number. So these are these IQ values, they are the ranks, and we want to determine the strength of correlation between the IQ and the and this rock music hours. Okay, so Pearson will not work here, and we will be doing Spearman's rank correlation here. So we'll move on to again stat. We'll go to basic statistics, go to correlation. Okay, I think yeah, it's already selected. You just need to select. I'll go step by step. One, this and this, and go to options. Here you need to select Spearman. So if it's like Pearson, just select Spearman's correlation. I want a 95% confidence interval. Okay. In the graphs, okay, I want this. Okay. And results is actually methods and okay. So I'll just calculate it. So here you can see, as you can see, most of the data points, they are just spread all over the graph here, like music hours and then the IQ. I don't see, if I just made a scatter plot of this, I don't see any particular trend or something in the data points. So in this graph, if you see the R value, it's minus 0.11, which is, I'll say, it's not correlated very well, and the confidence interval here is minus 0.6962 to 0.556. So and it does contain zero in between. So zero, if your confidence interval contains zero, that means that data is not actually related much. So it's like the interval is just away a little bit on the plus and minus side of the zero. So this is not a good correlated value. So we will say no. IQ and music hours are actually not correlated in this one. Okay. So we use Pearson's for continuous variables, and if there is a ordinal values, ranked values, then you will go for Spearman's correlation coefficient. And in minute I will do rest of the job. You don't need to do it manually. Let me go back. So I believe you have a clear picture of how when you will use Pearson and when you will use Spearman, and how why do we use correlations. So after correlation, actually we go to regression lines. So we are going to cover only correlation right now, but once you learn correlation and correlation coefficient, you will go into regression to check what exactly is the relationship like in the equation. How does y varies with x? So we calculate it through our regression lines. So I'm going to launch poll number 3. So here I want to understand if you have understood or not. If I want to know, is there a statistically significant relationship between horses finishing position in a race and a horse age? Which one of these you are going to use? A Pearson correlation or a Spearman's rank correlation? I'll just wait for another 10-20 seconds for all of you to give an answer. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I believe most of you have got it correct. It's the Spearman's rank correlation. 7 of you has given that, but 2 people have given Pearson correlation. That's see, for those 2 people, I'll say Pearson correlation is used when there is a continuous variable. Now here in this situation, one of the variables is finishing positions in a race. Now this is a rank and this is an ordinal variable. This is not a continuous variable. Horse's age is a continuous variable. It can be 1 year, 2.2 years, 3 years, 3.5 years. But finishing a position would always be first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It cannot be like in infractions. So for such kind of scenarios, we use Spearman correlation. So this is just a basic view of a correlation which we wanted to give you in this webinar. I believe this was helpful. And now I'll go to questions. And if you have any questions, you can just email us at futureskills@datadose.me. But let us check if you have any questions in between. Yeah. And I'll and end this webinar with this question set. Yeah. Okay.
You can either type the questions or feel free to unmute yourself. I'm going to enable that option to unmute. So feel free to unmute yourselves and ask those questions.
Okay, so I'll just take it from the last. Nasim Abed he's asking if is Spearman's correlation new in version 19? No, I think it was there in Minitab 18 also. I have used it with Minitab 18 also, so you can check that. But yes, Minitab 19 has some very new features on predictive analytics and others, which is very helpful if you are going to calculate some kind of relationship between the variables. So version 19 is much I'll say has much more powerful features in terms of data analytics as compared to the previous versions. Now Thaner Asu is saying don't use statistics. Okay, will not. Nasim Abatur and okay, experiments is giving. What if the distribution is non-normal? Shall we do the transformation? Yes, Daud, you can do the transformation, but as we said, if it's a ranked variable, we definitely go for Spearman's. But if you can convert your data to any of the other transformations, Box Cox or Wilkinson or any other, yes, you can go for on that data. And then Nasim with groups with regression line, show the session. When do you start regression to see the p values and the R2? Nice R, but quadratic, not linear. Okay, okay. So for Nasim, if you want to see the p values and R2, it's just in the options box. Whenever you will click on the Minitab window on the correlation in the options box, you will ask to select whether you want to see p values, you want to see intervals, or you can select those options. So I is there any other one? Okay. So I think I have taken most of the questions, and it's already, I think time is 40 minutes. Yes, Samir.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time today. Hope you've learned the correlation and the types of correlation coefficient, Spearman's and Pearson's. We have a very interesting webinar coming up on the 31st of August around a specific industry vertical, where we're gonna make it, rather than just features of Minitab, we're gonna focus on the financial services industry and going to solve real problems. And we've already a confirmed speaker from the insurance industry running business transformation. We'll announce that very soon. So I request you to keep watching all your emails. By the end of today evening, you'll also have a recording link of today's webinar. So yeah, we look forward to our continued engagement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thanks for your time. Thanks, Samir.
Thank you, Vineet.